Well, hello, grievers. Mandy here. Restorative Grief is all about creating easy access to healing no matter where or who you are. That's why I want you to remember that if you want grief support beyond a podcast, our Patreon features monthly workbooks to accompany each episode, as well as a Discord channel for more private chats and occasional bonus content as well. Supporting this work with your finances means investing in your own wellness and the healing of others, and that in itself is an incredibly generous and restorative practice. The link to the Patreon is in the show notes, but reach out with questions, okay? Now, let's get on to this week's episode. Welcome back to Restorative Grief with Mandy Capehart. You are listening to episode 162, titled Cultivating Connection Amidst Chaos and Conflict. As we approach the holiday season, a time ripe for reflection and connection, it's crucial to develop a strong bond with our inner world and core values. Thanksgiving in particular provides an opportunity to pause and appreciate the intricate dynamics of our lives, especially amidst chaos and conflict. Grieving has taught me the profound lesson of recognizing how little I can control in life. In the midst of chaos, I realized that the key to maintaining a sense of connection lies in controlling my inner world. This involves becoming acutely aware of how the external world impacts me holistically: heart, mind, body, and spirit. That journey begins with stillness. I must stop moving, stop fixing, stop teaching, and stop hurrying. By pausing, I become attuned to the discombobulation and disconnect within myself. This awareness allows me to identify whether I'm living from my curated core values or from borrowed ones. Realigning my behaviors, thoughts, emotions, and sense of connection with my chosen core values becomes a deliberate pathway. This path empowers me to determine how much access and influence external circumstances have over my inner world. I approach this process through the lens of play, curiosity, imagination, rest, softening, and surrendering to the present moment as much as possible. Does it sound impossible? Well, I wouldn't be here talking to you if it were. So trust me for this journey and this conversation, because I suspect you are in a place where a little more play, curiosity, and rest would be of great benefit to you. Grief is a profound and often transformative experience that teaches us about the limits of control. Grief is not something you get over. It's not something we try to force to an end, but it's something we learn to carry and live with. Grieving forces us to confront the harsh reality that many aspects of life are outside of our influence. And this realization, while initially daunting, can become a source of strength and guidance. By accepting the limits of our control, we focus on what we can manage inside of us. Cultivating a sense of connection amidst chaos starts with becoming aware of how we are interpreting the external events in the first place. This involves a holistic approach, considering the impacts of our heart, mind, body, and spirit, because healing comes in waves, and each wave brings with it a deeper level of understanding and connection. And by regularly tuning into our inner state or noticing how we interpret or understand external events, we can identify areas of misalignment with our values and take steps to address them. And when we stop that constant motion, that moving, fixing, teaching, and hurrying, we create space for self-reflection. That stillness allows us to notice where we disconnected from our core value and where we are out of alignment. This introspection is what allows us to decide which lens of movement and alignment will reconnect our whole selves to our inner world in a sustainable and meaningful way. So here are the 6 lenses I mentioned earlier, and a strategy for each for you to consider as a way to incorporate more ease and more awareness into your life. The lens of play. One powerful strategy for cultivating connection through play is engaging in activities that bring joy and creativity. Play is not just for children. It is a vital aspect of adult life that fosters creativity, reduces stress, and enhances emotional well-being. Play is a way to reclaim parts of ourselves that were lost in the daily grind of life. And we know the value of play because when we look at children under the age of 7, we can witness their nervous systems regulating and soothing any disruption when they begin to play. So the strategy is to incorporate an hour of play into your weekly routine. And I say weekly because I know a daily task can be a lot. Dedicate this time to activities that bring you joy and allow you to express yourself creatively. And that could be anything from painting, playing a musical instrument, playing a sport, playing with a pet. The key is to engage fully in the moment, allowing yourself to experience the joy and notice the freedom that arises when you play. Second is the lens of curiosity. Curiosity is a powerful tool for cultivating a deeper connection with our inner world. It encourages us to explore our thoughts and feelings without judgment, which is key, fostering a sense of wonder and discovery. Curiosity allows us to approach our inner experiences with openness and a desire to understand, not control. The strategy here is to practice mindfulness meditations with a focus on curiosity. So during your meditation, paying attention to your thoughts and feelings as they arise, and instead of labeling them as good or bad, you'll approach them with curiosity. We do so by asking questions like, why do I feel this way? Or what can I learn from this experience? Or even more wondering with, I wonder what this is connected to or where this came from. This practice allows us to look for less black and white answers and cultivate a non judgmental awareness of what we're thinking and what might be true. Third is the lens of imagination. Imagination is our God given superpower for envisioning new possibilities, creating meaning, and fostering a sense of connection. It allows us to think beyond our current circumstances and explore new ways of being. Imagination is the key to unlocking new pathways for healing and growth. So, the strategy is to create a vision board that represents your life and values. It doesn't have to be your ideal life and values or the overarching reality of what you want your life to be, because that can be very overwhelming and even limiting. So, start small, maybe a month or a 3 month out period of time, or even just for the week. Use images and quotes and symbols that inspire you and reflect your aspirations. This visual representation can serve as a great reminder of your goals and the values you want to live by, which is incredibly important when we are in the middle of chaotic holiday seasons where we might have taken someone else's values and internalized them as our own. So, regularly revisiting your vision board or creating a new one can help you stay connected to your aspirations and motivated to align your actions and thoughts with your values. Next is the lens of rest. Rest is essential for maintaining a sense of connection and well being. It's why we are restorative grief. Rest is an inherent part of this work. That is what allows our body and mind to recover from the stressors of daily life and the stressors of the holidays, providing the space we need for reflection and growth. It is not a luxury, it is a necessity for our well being. So, your strategy here is going to be a little bit tougher. Establishing a regular routine of rest includes adequate sleep, relaxation, and self care activities. Now, self care activities are going to be accessible to all people. It doesn't mean going to the mall and spending thousands of dollars on spa treatments. Self care is what makes you feel connected to yourself. So, this could involve setting aside time each day for activities that help you unwind, like reading, taking a bath, or even practicing some gentle or restorative yoga. Prioritize getting enough sleep each night, aiming for at least 7 to 8 hours if that's what means the most for you. Some people get by on 6 hours, but it actually feels better than oversleeping. So, getting to know your sleep needs is really important. By making rest a priority, you create the conditions necessary for maintaining a strong connection to your inner world. Next is the lens of softening, one of my favorites. Softening involves cultivating a sense of gentleness and compassion toward ourselves. It means letting go of harsh self judgment and embracing self acceptance. This approach fosters a more nurturing and supportive inner world so that when you do notice that things are off kilter, you have more access to the tenderness necessary to stay curious and open to what you need. The strategy here is to practice self-compassion exercises regularly. One effective exercise is the self-compassion break, developed by Dr. Kristen Neff. When you encounter a difficult situation, take a moment to acknowledge your feelings, reminding yourself that suffering is often a part of life, and offer yourself kind words of support. For example, you might say, "This is a moment of suffering. Suffering is a part of life. May I be extra kind to myself in this moment." This practice helps curate a more compassionate and supportive inner dialogue as well, which is often one of the first places we begin harming ourselves when we are trying to heal. And finally, the lens of surrendering. Surrendering involves accepting the present moment as it is without trying to change or control it. It means releasing resistance and embracing the flow of life. Surrendering is not giving up. It is allowing ourselves to be fully present and open to what is being offered by life in this moment. So the strategy is to incorporate a daily practice of what I call catch and release. This could involve journaling the things you cannot control and consciously releasing your attachment to them. As we notice a thought, as we notice a moment of tension, as we notice a moment of conflict, whether it's internal or external, these are the moments that we acknowledge and honor. Hey, this is happening and this is true. And we're going to allow ourselves to just be very present in the moment. Another effective practice for these moments is mindful breathing, where you can focus on your breath and imagine releasing tension and resistance with each exhale. That doesn't mean we're going to surrender to mistreatment or being abused or taken advantage of. This means in our internal world, we are allowing ourselves to recognize I cannot force resolution here. I cannot force an outcome that is pleasing, but I can allow myself to be in the moment and pay attention to what might serve. By regularly practicing a release like this, you will cultivate a sense of surrender and acceptance within yourself that allows your nervous system to stay regulated in the face of tension and chaos. Integrating these strategies into your daily life can help you cultivate a deeper sense of connection in the face of all this chaos and conflict. By approaching your inner world through the lens of play, curiosity, imagination, rest, softening, and surrendering, you create and invite a holistic and nurturing environment for growth and well-being. I remember a Christmas season shortly after the passing of a close family member. Feeling overwhelmed by the absence and the pressure of holiday expectations, I opted to simplify my own celebrations. So instead of a large festive gathering, I spent the day engaging in quiet reflection and honoring the memory of my loved one. I incorporated small, meaningful rituals such as lighting a candle and sharing stories of them, which did bring comfort and a sense of connection. If it sounds simple, that's because it is. It's not a trick. I know the impulse to suspect trickery well, because simple can seem too good to be true when it comes to grief and loss. But through this experience, I discovered a deeper resilience and the importance of honoring my feelings rather than adhering to external expectations to keep the peace or stay quiet. Grieving well has taught me that I cannot control the external world, but I have the power to shape my inner world. By becoming aware of how external events impact me and realigning my actions, thoughts, and emotions with my core values, I can cultivate a sense of connection and peace. Approaching this process through all of these lenses allows us to create that inner world that we have always dreamed about. And that, my friends, is necessary to help us remember that healing is a journey, not a destination. By embracing the journey, we navigate deeper into the chaos and conflict of life with grace and resilience. So, as we enter this Thanksgiving and holiday season ahead, let us take the time to develop a deeper connection with our inner selves and honor the core values that guide us through life's challenges. Thank you for listening to episode 162 of Restorative Grief. Supporting our inner world around the holidays is necessary, maybe even more so than year-round. Shared dysregulation is not a family tradition you need to uphold. So let this year and these ideas be the support you need to review your own core values and inner world for the sense of peace you want to experience through the holidays. If this is your first time listening to this show, I hope this encourages you to look inward with wonder and compassion toward the person you are right now and the person you are becoming. Share this episode with a friend or cousin you think could also benefit from the gentle reminder to soften toward themselves, and chat me up on social media because I would always love to hear what you think. If you want more information about restorative grief coaching, as well as the Patreon and bonus content, check out the show notes or visit mandykapehart.com. And as always, before we go, one last thing. Please remember, the only solution for grief is to do the work of grieving. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next week. And a gentle holiday season to you and yours.